And welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys. Well, we do have a Barça news roundup on the way, and we do have some really interesting topics too, because starting with Robert Lewandowski's injury situation, how long is he going to miss, who is going to replace him in that time. We're also going to be talking about Alejandro Balde, really intriguing conversation there, along with, of course, these big rumours that you may have been hearing linking Lionel Messi, yep, with a return to the club. You know where that's going. We're going to be talking all about that. It's coming up for you today, guys. Let's get on with it now. Come on. Because starting, first of all, with that important update on the injury to Robert Lewandowski, because obviously there was taken off in the first half against Porto, and I think we were all hoping, really hoping it was just a really heavy knock there to his left leg. We saw him hobble off the field. He looked to be in some pain, in some discomfort, but we were just hoping it would be a very slight problem. But that is the thing with Barca right now. Whenever we're getting an injury, whenever a player is coming off in a game, it's never, oh, they're going to be out for a few days, they're going to miss one game or two. It's always something more serious. And yet again here today, following further tests that were done on Thursday, Lewandowski has suffered a sprained left ankle, which again is bad news. It is bad news for the club, for Xavi, for all of us fans here, because that means that Robert Lewandowski right now, even though there's no confirmed injury timeline, Barcelona leaving things open as they often do, but the feeling is he's going to miss around 1 month of action, maybe even more. There is a few negative emotions going around right now. It means that he'll certainly miss, of course, Sunday's game away at Granada. Then after the international break, we've got Athletic Club, Shakhtar, two tricky games there. And then the big one, of course, it is going to be again El Clasico. Plenty of players that we have right now are injured. Key players, they're all looking at that game, wondering if they are going to be ready. Lewandowski now is in the same boat, and I just hope here that he can get himself back as quickly as possible. We know with Robert Lewandowski, he's very rarely out injured. This is not normal for him at all. He always keeps himself in absolutely perfect condition, so I'm sure there he's going to be working really hard to be in and around that game against Real Madrid. But let's wait and see. And of course, when you're talking about people there that could replace him, Ferran Torres is one that came on against Porto, scored, of course, the winning goal. And that means now that after 354 minutes of football this season, he has scored every 88 minutes of that. He really has taken his chances coming off the bench, but will Xavi now look to use him down the middle as a starter? Can he be effective in that role? And of course, you're looking as well at João Felix too. He can play in that area. You would then need to make some adjustments on the left-hand side, maybe reorganise things in that attack, but João Felix can play down the middle too. But you're looking at it right now, guys, the wealth of attacking options that we had, the incredible depth that we were talking about having just a few games ago, it's starting to get depleted. No Rafinha, now no Robert Lewandowski. We will need players to step up in that attacking area, and that brings me on now to Alejandro Balde. Because when I did ask there for your thoughts yesterday, guys, on my community section, what are you feeling? What questions do you have right now? There were plenty of them concerning Balde's performance and his role in the team right now in terms of his general involvement in play, whether that has decreased of late, and just why that may be. And I just want to talk here about that involvement from Balde, because I do think we've seen it dampen just a little bit in recent weeks, and I think there's a number of reasons actually for that. The most obvious one, of course, is going to be the arrival of João Cancelo. We've seen that have an impact on Balde's output. We know how key Cancelo has been on that right side there, getting forward from full-back, and how important he's been in the final third. But as we all know, you can't have both full-backs all the time bombing on together, You've got to take it step by step. You've got to have a bit of discipline about you, and there have been times where Balde now has had to be a bit more withdrawn, has had to be a bit more conservative for the sake of the team, and that has, of course, limited what he could do going forward. But I don't think it's just that either, because I also look here at the style of play, the style of attacking output that Balde liked to bring to games, and especially when you're looking at the runs that he makes, because he loves to make actually inverted runs, to actually target the middle of teams, cut through them there, bursting towards the opposition defence, and quite often he finds himself right on the edge of the box in offensive areas there in the middle of the field, and he's not really just one of those fullbacks who's always looking to go on the outside and do the overlap. And I just wonder here, has the other João Felix, also had an impact on Balde's output? Because Felix, of course, does start out on that left-hand side. We know that he comes inside. We know that he's more central. He likes to play there between the lines, and I just wonder there whether that's taken something as well away from Balde's style of play. Different kind of player, of course, on that left to say Ansu Fati, or even Gavi when he was playing there as well. And I do think it's going to be interesting now to see, with Lewandowski not playing for a little while, if we do shift João Felix inside more as the centre forward, or even maybe if Ferran is playing in that role and things are a little bit more fluid, are we going to see Balde called upon more often to make more of those darting runs, to be more of an offensive threat that we've seen him be, of course, in the past? We've seen him run things at times in the way that he can really take apart opponents in the opposition's half time and time again, and I do think it's going to be interesting to see how he performs in these weeks to come, the role that he does have, because like I say, we need everybody right now, absolutely everybody, to step up in that attacking part of the field. But if we do now though, guys, just shift our attention a little bit onwards, looking a little bit into the future here when you're thinking about the January transfer window, because obviously the rumours surrounding Lionel Messi, they're never going to go away. They're always going to be there, and I think we should all expect that by now. And I think ahead of January, we all did know it was going to be probably on the horizon, and even more so now because Inter Miami do indeed look set to miss out on the MLS playoffs, and that means that Messi is being linked with a loan move in the winter to Barcelona. And throughout MLS history, to be fair, there's been plenty of examples of players during the off-season in MLS returning to Europe on short-term loans. You look at it there with David Beckham. He came back over to play there with AC Milan. Thierry Henry, a really interesting one there. He made an emotional return to Arsenal in 2012. So that is a really intriguing one there to keep in mind. And I think it was also interesting recently when Inter Miami's managing owner came out and said, this in the past few days, he said, I gave Messi my word that I will do everything possible in the coming years so that he has the opportunity to say goodbye to his fans in Barcelona there. So Inter Miami's managing owner, he's made Messi a promise. That was something maybe that was discussed upon Messi joining the club. But could he really come back in the January window? Well, I think it is interesting right now to look at exactly how this would work, because the MLS season, yes, it would be over for Messi if they don't make the playoffs there, but it would begin again in February. So would it be a case here of Messi coming back on a very, very short-term loan, joining in January at the start and then leaving again in February? That would be a very short space of time, simply a case there of coming back for a farewell. But would that be a big disruption to the season there? When you think about all the attention and the spotlight there that Messi return would generate, but not really actually to have him as a player for very long, it would simply be a case of a month, a few weeks here back at the club, and then he's off again to MLS. That would be a really, really short-term deal. Or is there the possibility of something longer term there? Could it be January until the end of the season? Is it possible there to have Messi over several months? If Inter Miami agree to that there, maybe he would miss the start of the new MLS season to have a loan spell there, to have a few months to properly say goodbye to Barcelona. But again, we've got the situation, guys, of registration. Now, I know that it would be a loan deal. That could certainly help there by way of Inter Miami again could play their part, and in terms of the salary that Messi would get at Barcelona, maybe there's something we can do there clever in accounting. But we know La Liga, they are so strict. And I also think right now about Vitor Roque too. Remember, he is waiting. He's waited in the summer. He couldn't get registered then. It's been put back now to January. Are you saying that we have the possibility here to register Roque and Messi as well? I don't really think Barca right now are in that position. And I think right now these rumours, there's something to keep an eye on, because it's an option that's always going to be there. Messi coming back, it's emotional. It's something that we all really connect with. We'd all love to see him have the farewell that he deserves. But I just wonder right now on that structuring. I don't think a loan deal there for just 1 month, I don't think that really suits anybody. Messi wouldn't have chance there to get into the flow of things, to really have the kind of impact that he'd love to have back at the club. I don't really think that we should disrupt the whole season just for 1 month of a loan deal. So it's going to be interesting to see, is there any chance for a longer deal? If there is there any chance of registering him? But I think at this stage, guys, none of us really want to get too far down the road. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves when it comes to Messi. We've seen all this before. We've heard it all before. He's in MLS. He's with Inter Miami now, doing very, very well. He was there before the injury that he currently has. And let's wait and see what happens if they miss out on the playoffs, and if Messi has any plans to go out on loan in January. So let me know, guys, in the comments down below. Do you believe there's any chance of Messi coming back? Is it another rumour that you think, okay, it's nice in theory, but could it really happen? What are your thoughts right now on those rumours? And also let me know your thoughts on Lewandowski's absence to come and the impact right now we're seeing from Alejandro Balde. I will see you guys tomorrow for all of the build-up ahead of Barça versus Granada. Last game before the international break. I will catch you then. Thank you indeed, though, for all of your support as always. But until next time, as always, Visca, el Barça.